Just stumbled upon this sub and saw some similar stories, so I figured I'd share this little gem from my college days. My bus was delayed by 5 hours at a long-distance terminal in bump/K nowhere rural Florida. I, short, husky, white teenager, was dressed in a black button-up, red tie, and black pants with my eyeliner and mascara from the Rocky Horror Show I had attended before traveling, probably looking a bit worse for wear. I was sitting for a decent while when I noticed that an older, probably late 60s or early 70s, lady was trying to do something on a self-service kiosk and muttering to herself in Spanish. She seemed to be getting frustrated and was darting her eyes around for employees, but the place was packed with people due to the delays at around 3 a.m., so not many were around. Someone eventually did stop to try to help her, when I heard no hey blowingles, causing the person to just look kind of puzzled and walk off. I was in my 3rd semester of Spanish at the time, so I slowly walked over and said, "Excuse me, do you need some help?" She asked if I spoke Spanish, to which I replied that I was still learning but would do my best. She clapped her chest with a literal Dios mío. And we pleasantly worked through what she needed done and went our separate ways. Someone had taken my seat, so I was just standing around for a minute or two when I get the tap on my shoulder. I turned around to see a large white woman with an inordinate amount of luggage and a child in tow. The kid is nose deep into a DS and isn't really paying attention, but she looks me up and down with what appeared to be disgust before demanding that I get her luggage to wherever it has to go. I had no idea where that is, and was honestly super exhausted, so I started to say, "I'm sorry, but I don't W." Before I can finish, she butts in with, "Don't you F/K with me. This place is going crazy and every other employee is busy, so even an office guy or supervisor or whatever you are should be out here working with customers. I saw you help that other lady, so you can damn well help me with my bags." I raised my hands and started to explain again that I didn't know anything and didn't work there, but she was not having it and started to raise her voice a bit. At this point her child notices her volume, looks up at me with what seemed like a mixture of confusion and embarrassment, then tugs on her shirt and says, "Mom, I don't think he." She turns quick and gives him a snit / not even a shush, just like that loud click, hiss noise that dog whisperer guy used on TV. Then she started in on me being a lazy, unprofessional snowflake or whatever. Just then, the elderly lady comes up from the side of us, shaking her cane at the large woman and shouts in the best English she could muster, "You leave my nephew alone. He's a good boy." Big woman turned to see this old lady with straight-up lightning in her eyes and a big bit of mahogany inches from her face, then just turns around and leaves with her kid. No apology, nothing. Once her and her kid are a fair distance away, I thank the older woman, and she just motions for me to follow her. We go outside to a bench by the entrance and she offers me a cigarette as she lights one up. I say, "No thank you." She then pulls a thermos out of her purse and offers me some coffee. I once again say no, thank you, but she pours it anyway and comments about how the coffee here is so terrible. Turns out, she was visiting from Guatemala to see her son who works with a company that imports, blends, and roasts Guatemalan coffee. We're both coffee snobs, so we just sit and chat about coffee, our families, and why on earth I'm dressed like I am until her bus is called to board. I, of course, offer to help her with her luggage, but she says she only has the one small bag and is fine with carrying it. Definitely an interesting capstone to a very interesting weekend. After work one day, I stopped in at my local Walmart to pick up a few things on my way home. I'm walking down a main aisle about to head to the registers and I keep hearing "Excuse me. Excuse me." Curious, I look up and this older woman is walking right towards me, pushing a buggy. We make eye contact and she says, "Do you work here?" I'm baffled. I look down at my outfit, dark green matching scrubs with a stethoscope and ID badge around my neck, look back up at her and say absolutely not, and walk away. She tuts as I'm walking away saying something about how rude I am. I'm laughing to myself about it while checking out and mention it to the security guard standing near the exit entrance to the store. We both start laughing and he says, "My first guess looking at you is that you're a doctor, not an employee here." Thanks for the compliment but, not a doctor. Short little story. I was in the Mart of Walls the other day walking around. I was wearing a gray button-down shirt and jeans, and some guy glances at me and asks me to open the cabinet so he could buy a Bluetooth speaker. I had to tell him like twice that I didn't work there, and he seemed to be annoyed with me, haha. People have assumed I was a Best Buy employee ever since I was a teenager, and it never bothered me. I actually felt slightly bothered that he thought I worked at the Mart of Walls. I guess that's my pride talking, haha. This isn't my story but the someone who works with me. We work for a retail drugstore chain. I'm going to call my colleague Jane. Our store is 24 hours. I work the morning shift, Jane works the overnight shift. We're both shift supervisors. In recent months, shoplifting has become a very bad problem. Monday through Friday between 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. overnight has a frequent customer come in. Let's call her Amanda. Amanda works as a security guard and is in her uniform. She comes into the store before going to work to buy some soda, snacks and cigarettes. She's quite friendly and the staff knows her by name. This particular morning Jane has her eye on a suspected shoplifter SL. There's a woman somewhere in her mid-20s with a large bag and she's stuffing it with hair products, makeup and other items. Amanda tries to say hi to Jane but Jane signals that she has her eye on someone. Amanda mouths, "Leave it to me." Amanda follows the woman for a few feet, then the following conversation happens. Amanda, finding everything okay? SL, yes, everything is great. Amanda, peering into the woman's bag, are you shoplifting? SL, frightened voice, yes. Amanda, I advise you stop and return all this stuff in your bag before I call the police. Amanda starts to take out her cell phone. SL dumps everything in her bag in the middle of the aisle and quickly runs out the door. As SL is dumping her stuff, Amanda tells her, I'd better not see you in this store again or I will call the police and report this incident. Amanda informs Jane about the pile of merchandise and proceeds to do her shopping. At the cash register, Jane and the cashier are thanking Amanda profusely for her stopping the shoplifter. Amanda says she likes our store and doesn't want people like SL ruining it for her. All I will say is, Amanda, you rock. I am at the mall and decided it was time to repurchase my black high-top Converse. Walked into the shoe store and saw a group of workers chilling in the center of the room. One of them turns to me and I ask if they've got Converse like the ones I'm wearing. He says no, so I ask if he has normal high tops in black and he says yay. So I ask if he has them in my size and he says, no, mine are 9s. Cue puzzled expression on both of our faces, then we laugh, fist bumping, then leave shortly after staff tells us the shoes are all sold out. On multiple occasions I've gone to places like Walgreens in jeans and a t-shirt and still get asked if I work there. Is it because I wear my hair up? Do I act like a worker with my quiet demeanor and the fact that I shop alone? What makes people think you work at a retail store?